Hello, it's Conan Horrors here again, this time without a script. And today I did I did quite a bit of work with animation, and I have a good update with story and all that stuff. So we'll just take it one thing at a time, starting with the animation and making assets for your game. So the most important thing to do is really figure out what your style is going to be, who you're appealing to. For me, in this game, I'm appealing to young adults primarily. I think I'm going to be focusing mostly on the computer, um, and then later on go on and port it to the phone, to other mobile devices. With an age group like young adults, I can get away with a lot of different art styles. And so I'm going with more of a cutesy, cartoony art style. Now, what you see in front of you right now, this is not final art. This is test art. I'm just doing a test idle animation that I'm going to then program into the computer. Anyway, going on to a story update, I have someone who's working on the story for me. I'm working with them rather, uh, and we have a couple of character classes that are in the game. We have our wizards and our conspiracy theorists, our archers and our clerics, um, and so I'll read to you a couple of these descriptions of these character classes that the writer wrote for me. I think they're kind of fun. So for the wizard, we have only three of the wizards are really professionals. The others are either apprentices let out too early or wannabes who thought it would look cool to wear a pointy hat and wave a stick around. The conspiracy theorists are described as usual, their theories are outlandish exaggerations of future disasters and political intrigue that turn out to be true, but only after their lifetimes. During their lifetimes, they are ridiculed. We have our archers. Their favorite targets are the conspiracy theorists. So much so, it's hard to get them to focus on the defense task that has arisen, which oddly turns out to be a defense against what the conspiracy theorists had predicted. Now, there's many other of these character classes that have descriptions, and everything in the game is going to have a fun, tongue-in-cheek type of description. I'm having the artwork and these descriptions are supposed to link together and create a nice feel. The story itself is going to be hidden, so I can't tell you anything about that. That's for me to know and for you to one day find out. Anyway, what you're seeing on the screen right now, I'm working on importing the animation that I just created. I'm setting up a test animation and making sure that I can upload or load in the components, the assets that are used in the game. Then I'll go through and start actually creating an animation object and all that stuff. And in fact, I think that's what I'm working on now on screen. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm very carefully making sure that everything is laid out in a very nice, very concise way, so that when the game gets larger, and if I ever pull on different programmers, and I don't think I will, but if I ever did, then they should be able to easily figure out what's going on, be able to read it with all the comments that I'm leaving, and all that stuff. And everything should be expandable so that as the game gets larger, it doesn't start to fall and collapse under its own weight. So yeah, I'm just using a whole bunch of really good programming practices, and this is to bring in the assets. Anyway, going back to the artwork that I'm doing and the style that I'm going with, what you're going to see here is I'm working on another test. This time I'm doing multiple frames and multiple animations on a single character sheet, or animation sheet, I guess you could call it. And on this sheet, I'm doing the fighter class. And again, this is just a test. It's a little bit better than what I did at the beginning of this episode, but this, I'm no artist. I'm no artist at all, and it's not my thing. I have such a hard time. I really struggle with it. But at any rate, this is me putting together my um, my fighter, and again, just for the test, I want to see if he'll face different directions and whatnot, and then get that all in. So I'm sorry that I wasn't able to get a whole lot done these last 2 weeks with this game. I've been very busy, but as this semester at school winds to an end, I'll be able to put a lot more work into it for 2 more weeks until the fall semester begins. But I have a lighter workload. It's not the condensed, heavy workload of the summer semester, so I'll be able to do a lot better, and I'll be able to get better content updates, which, or not content, but rather progress updates. And that raises a really good question that I would love your input in the comments below about, and that is whether you want episodes like this, where I'm just talking about what I've done, no script involved, or if you want to listen to me read off a script like I did on the previous episode. And another question is whether you want update episodes that are separated from what I've been doing episodes, where I show off what I'm doing while I'm doing it. Or if you just like having these update episodes where I just, give you a quick update of what I'm doing. Not like the previous episode where I was actually kind of, in a way, showing my train of thought and showing you what I was doing while I was doing it. It was a bit slapped together and it had a script, but whatever. Anyway, I would love to get your comments on that, and until then, I'm Conan Horace. Have fun.